Welcome once again to World History. This is day 30. This is 30B. Note number 4 to write down is that Alexander the Great conquered Egypt, the Persian Empire, and eventually reached the Indus River Valley. So that third civilization of the Indus River Valley that we studied, he reached that. Basically, he conquered all of the early five river cultures except for China. So he conquered Persia, and that would encompass Tigris and Euphrates. He conquers Egypt, that encompasses the Nile. He encompasses the Indus River Valley and captures that briefly, although they do a pretty good job defending India, greater than expected. Note number 5 is that Alexander's reign is the beginning of the Hellenistic period, and an original name of Greece after Queen Helen is Hellas, kind of named in her honor, and Alexander intentionally spread Greek culture in throughout the empire, and that could include the wearing of the toga. So you have this Eastern figure wearing the toga, kind of shows the blending of the cultures. And again, Alexander's from Macedonia, and he conquers everything in green. So really, really far from where he started. Got a good battle picture here. Note number 6 is that Alexander dies at the age of 32, leaving the vast empire with no heir, and cultural diffusion is his lasting influence, not political unity. The 3 to 4 generals that divide up what he had conquered after his death are not able to keep it. And Alexander, it is said, is this one here on this horse. And a quote from Plutarch, 46 to 126 Christian era, or AD. So 46 is right after the resurrection of Jesus. Plutarch writes that Alexander harnessed all resources to one and the same end, mixing, as it were, a loving cup, the lives, manners, marriages, and customs of men. He ordered them all to regard the inhabited earth as their fatherland and his armed forces as their stronghold and defense. So Alexander has gotten a lot of notoriety in history for his military genius and how he rallied his troops. And another quote from Peter Green, 1991, that Alexander's all-absorbing obsession through a short but crowded life was war and conquest. He dreamed of wading through rivers of blood and violence to achieve the brotherhood of man by raping an entire continent. The empire he built collapsed the moment he was gone. He came as a conqueror, and the work he wrought was destruction. So Peter Green is definitely questioning whether we should praise what Alexander did, because Alexander seemed to want power and conquest for its own sake and wasn't even able to hang on or enjoy it. It's kind of like, for what purpose? So obviously battles involve death, killing. Was this necessary? So to talk about the 3 generals that got these different regions after Alexander's passing to malaria, Ptolemy seizes Egypt. So Ptolemy's going to lead in here for a little bit. Antigonus is going to remain in Macedonia and Greece, and Seleucus is going to get the largest part of land, ruling Western Asia to India, but none of them are going to be able to maintain it. Hellenistic culture is going to successfully pass, but not these political entities. Number 8, Hellenistic cities included cultural centers, theaters, temples, libraries, and markets. At the time of Jesus, you find a lot of the key cities that Jesus visits being Hellenistic cities, having a Greek temple, a market, an amphitheater often. Note number 9, ruling dynasties at first were Macedonian. Fellow Greeks, kind of in a nepotistic situation, were given political, military, and diplomatic positions. So local leaders in all these regions were not given the posts of authority at first. So there's our different regions. This is one, Seleucus, and then Ptolemy, and the other one. Note number 10, all Hellenistic kingdoms shared some characteristics, but language, customs, and religion remained a source of disunity. So